10:35 in Southern California. Maybe you just felt it. We certainly did here in Hollywood. An earthquake just rumbling through Southern California.
Reports were spreading of a large earthquake in Southern California. Initial reports of the magnitude by the USGS was a 6.6 out of Ridgecrest, California. It was downgraded to a 6.4. The earthquake lasted as long as 20 seconds. Reports of damage, fires, and leaking gas lines started to pour in. And so did the pictures and videos of the aftermath. Gas lines bursted, catching homes on fire. Outdoor security cams showed parked vehicles starting to violently shake. Homes in Ridgecrest were violently shaken. Take a look at some of the footage. The earthquake had a very loud rumble. People remember feeling the ground rumble twice.
Holy. Oh.
Restaurants and businesses suffered the greatest amounts of damage.
It's my store. I like this store. I can't leave you guys down over here.
The quake took out huge chain stores such as Albertsons and Walmart, forcing them to close. The local hospital was also evacuated.
This is the back room, the storage warehouse. This shit is fucked up, son. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So what about the science of the earthquakes? Let's get to that. Caltech geologist Lucy Jones.
For a while, the website showed 2 magnitude 6.4s. So the way the system works is there's a lot of us recording earthquakes around the world, especially, and we have a system that if somebody else puts up an alert, or 2 alerts, one from us, one from the Tsunami Warning Center, and when we recognized that it was there, we went in and cleaned it up.
Yeah.
That was not getting rid of an earthquake. By the way, I've heard the conspiracy theorists about that. It's just that we cleaned it up. So the basics of the earthquake is near China Lake and Ridgecrest, so the area to the east of the southernmost part of the San Andreas Fault. The nearest fault is the Little Lake Fault, and that it might be associated with it, but we don't know. But Little Lake is a volcanic region. There are some active volcanics.
Right.
Yeah, well, and the China Lake Weapons Center runs a geothermal plant there. So there's magma at depth, there's molten rock at depth, which has been used to tap for geothermal energy. So it's a potentially volcanic area. We also have locations on some of them, and that's where we were trying to get up this this map here. And it's interesting, it does look like we might be seeing 2 different faults. So we think the main fault was rupturing down towards the southwest, which would have focused the energy towards Ridgecrest.
The first 6.4 made the other fault rupture, creating another 6.4. but they got rid of that quake even though it was set off, creating even more energy.
But then there's also a second fault that seems to have been activated going up to the northwest. Again, this area, that's not completely surprising. Look at those little black lines in there. There's a bunch of them. On the aftershocks that we've been recording, so far we have about 30 that are above magnitude 3 and 6 above magnitude 4. Overall, this is a very robust sequence. And on the theory that when you have a lot of earthquakes, you tend to have a lot of earthquakes, we try to estimate the rate of aftershocks from what we're recording. And from that, we have about an 80% chance of at least one magnitude 5 and about a 9% chance that something larger than 6.4 could occur over the next week.
Dr. Lucy Jones went on to say that earthquakes cannot be predicted, and if someone was, it was fake. However, the USGS sent out alerts for an aftershock of 6+ or greater magnitude, just minutes after the 6.4. I actually have more information on who sent out those alerts, and I'll put those in another video. But can people predict them? Just 12 hours prior to the 6.4, an amateur seismologist / geologist named Dutch Sense, who forecasts earthquakes, gave a dire warning to residents in SoCal. This is that warning.
We're looking at the next 5 days of being pretty busy. I will tell you though, Southern California, we can look between our sets of earthquakes to determine a general area to watch. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We got a swarm going here in South San Joaquin Valley. We got a line of earthquakes going down across Southern California on the San Jacinto. So San Joaquin is getting hit with a swarm and San Jacinto is getting hit with a line of earthquakes. Well, that means the middle point is the LA basin, east-northeast LA. So if it's going to get hit, Southern California, it would be right next to Glen Avon, which I wouldn't be too surprised to see that.
Here's a few pictures of the damage the 6.4 created.
Take a look at this. This is Highway 178 between the city of Ridgecrest and the town of Trona. That's about 20 miles east of Ridgecrest.
Subscribe to Dutch Sense to follow his earthquake forecast. Make sure you also subscribe to my channel, Disclosure TV, for the best news on YouTube.